Fixed joints. Some joints between bones in our head are different from those we have discussed so far. The bones cannot move at these joints. Such joints are called fixed joints. When you open your mouth wide, you can move your lower jaw away from your head, isn't it? Try to move your upper jaw now. Are you able to move it? There is a joint between the upper jaw and the rest of the head, which is a fixed joint. We discussed only some of the joints that connect parts of our body. What gives the different parts of the body their different shapes? If you wanted to make a doll, what will you make first? Perhaps a framework to give the doll shape before making its outer structure, isn't it? All the bones in our body also form a framework to give a shape to our body. Figure 8.7. This framework is called the skeleton. Page 70. The human skeleton is composed of around 305 bones at birth. The number of bones in the skeleton changes with age. It decreases to 206 bones by adulthood after some bones have fused together. How do we know that this is the shape of a human skeleton? How do we know the shapes of the different bones in our body? We can have some idea about the shape and number of bones in some parts of our body by feeling them. One way we could know this shape better would be to look at X-ray images of the human body. Did you or anyone in your family ever have an X-ray of any part of your body taken? Sometimes when we are hurt or have an accident, doctors use these X-ray images to find out about any possible injuries that might have happened to the bones. The X-rays show the shapes of the bones in our bodies. Figure 8.7 shows the human skeleton. Feel the bones in your forearm upper arm, lower leg and upper leg. Try to find the number of bones in each part. Similarly, feel the bones of your ankle and knee joints and compare these with the X-ray images. Figure 8.8. Figure 8.8 shows X-ray images of ankle and knee joints. Bend your fingers. Are you able to bend them at every joint? How many bones does your middle finger have? Feel the back of your palm. It seems to have many bones, isn't it? Figure 8.9. Is your wrist flexible? It is made up of several small bones called carpals. What will happen if it has only one bone? Figure 8.9 shows bones of the hand. Activity 4. Take a deep breath and hold it for a little while. Feel your chest bones and the backbone by gently pressing the middle of the chest and back at the same time. Count as many ribs, bones of the chest, as possible.
Page number 71.
Observe figure 8.10 carefully and compare with what you feel of the chest bones. We see that the ribs are curiously bent. They join the chest bone and the backbone together to form a box. This is called the rib cage. There are 12 ribs on each side of chest. Some important internal parts of our body lie protected inside this cage. Ask some friends to touch their toes without bending their knees. Starting from the neck, move your fingers downwards on the back of your friend. What you feel is the backbone. It is made up of many small bones called vertebrae. The backbone consists of 33 vertebrae. Figure 8.11. The rib cage is joined to these bones. If backbone was made up of only one long bone, will your friend be able to bend? Make your friend stand with both hands pressed to the wall and ask her to push the wall. Do you notice two bones on the back are prominent where the shoulders are? They are called shoulder bones. Figure 8.12. Observe figure 8.13 carefully. This structure is made up of pelvic bones. They enclose the portion of your body below the stomach. This is the part you sit on. The skull is made up of many bones joined together. Figure 8.14. It encloses and protects a very important part of the body, the brain. We discussed many bones and the joints of our skeleton. Page 72. There are some additional parts of the skeleton that are not as hard as the bones and which can be bent. These are called cartilage. Feel your ear. Do you find any hard bony parts that can be bent? Figure 8.15. There do not seem to be any bones here, isn't it? Do you notice anything different between the earlobe and the portions above it? Figure 8.16. As you press them between your fingers, you do feel something in the upper parts of the ear that is not as soft as the earlobe, but not as hard as a bone, isn't it? This is cartilage. Cartilage is also found in the joints of the body. We have seen that our skeleton is made up of many bones, joints, and cartilage. You could feel, bend and move many of them. Draw a neat figure of the skeleton in your notebook. We have learnt about the bones in our body and about joints that help us move in different ways. What makes the bones move the way they do? Let us find out. Bend your arm at the elbow and touch your shoulder with the thumb. Figure 8.17. Do you see any change in your upper arm? Touch it with the other hand. Do you observe a swollen region is the upper arm? This is a muscle. The muscle bulged due to contraction. It became smaller in length. Now bring your arm back to its normal position. What happened to the muscle? Is it still contracted? You can observe similar contraction of muscles in your leg when you walk or run. When contracted, the muscle becomes shorter, stiffer, and thicker. It pulls the bone. Figure 8.17 shows two muscles work together to move a bone. Figure A, Figure B. Muscles work in pairs. When one of them contracts, the bone is pulled in that direction. The other muscle of the pair relaxes. To move the bone in the opposite direction, the relaxed muscle contracts to pull the bone towards its original position. While the first relaxes. A muscle can only pull. It cannot push. Thus, two muscles have to work together to move a bone. Figure 8.17. Are muscles and bones always required for movement? How do other animals move? Do all animals have bones? What about an earthworm or a snail? Let us study the manner of movement. That is, the gait of some animals.